When it comes to war in the United States has had periods of war, peace, isolationism, and being a global superpower. Yet, in spite of so many different scenarios and phases in American history, there might be one pattern of note. I think we have this special thing for avenging ships. This video is a part of a huge collaboration between this channel and over a dozen other history YouTubers, and we're all talking about naval history. So after this video, be sure to watch the other videos too. And for this video, we're going to talk specifically about an example of history repeating itself: America's love for avenging ships. Today, the United States has the largest navy in the world, by far, especially when it comes to not only defense, but global trade. Having a big navy means that you're a powerful country. That's why other nations like China are focusing on building up their navy, even though naval warfare has kind of been dormant for the past half-century or so. Well, other than defending trade routes from modern pirates. But even before the US had the world's largest navy, many of our wars in particular started because someone messed with our ships. Think about how many wars that come to mind when you think of an American Navy ship sinking. You could probably think 2 or 3 off the top of your head. But how many times specifically did we enter a conflict because someone messed with one of our ships? Here are all the foreign conflicts that we got into because someone messed with our ships. The Quasi-War. French privateers began attacking American merchant ships, and we got upset. The First Barbary War. North African pirates attacked our American merchant ships, and we got upset. War of 1812. The British attacked our ships to kidnap our sailors to draft them. It was actually quite impressive. The Second Barbary War. More North African pirates attacked our American merchant ships, and we got upset. In fact, I'm just going to save some time and say that there were anti-pirate military operations in Greece, Africa, and 2 in Sumatra. The Second Opium War. A Chinese garrison shelled one of our Navy steamers, and we got upset. The Shimonoseki Campaign. The Japanese feudal domain of Chozu wanted to expel foreigners, and they attacked an American ship. The Formosa Expedition. Taiwanese aborigines attacked one of our ships. The Korean Expedition. Korea didn't like our Navy patrolling their waters, and they fired at our fleet. The Spanish-American War. The USS Maine famously exploded in Havana Harbor in Spanish Cuba, and we blamed Spain over it. The occupation of Veracruz. Mexico was having a civil war, and when an American ship landed to fuel, one side arrested the sailors, and we got butthurt about it. World War I. So this one's actually a bit more complicated. The sinking of the Lusitania doesn't really count because it's a British ship, not an American one. Plus other factors like the Zimmerman telegram played into our declaration of war. But it's still true that the main reason for our entry into World War I was the unrestricted U-boat submarine warfare Germany conducted on any merchant ship heading to Britain. So I'm still gonna count it. World War II. Japanese airplanes attacked our Navy at Pearl Harbor, you know the rest. Vietnam War. This one's also complicated because we technically got involved in Vietnam before this, but the full-scale involvement that you think of when you think of Vietnam happened after a supposed attack on our Navy called the Gulf of Tonkin incident. It was shady to say the least, but regardless on whether it actually happened, it was cited as a reason, so I'm gonna count it. The Iran-Iraq War. Basically, Iran and Iraq were fighting each other, and an Iraqi missile attacked one of our oil tankers, so we responded with some bombing. Operation Ocean Shield. The US and the world against piracy, especially from Somalia. This gives us a total of 19. Conflicts that didn't start from avenging ships? 43 depending on how you count it. Remember, this doesn't include the Civil War or Native American War since those aren't foreign wars. Out of those 19, 11 are from attacking merchant ships rather than the Navy. Out of those 11, all but 3 are from before World War I. So why is it this high? Let us consider what the United States was like before World War I. We had several periods of isolationism, but we also saw ourselves as a nation of being able to trade and conduct our lives without interfering in the affairs of wars in Europe or other faraway continents. Of course, the irony ended up being trying to enforce trade without interference caused several wars, as shown earlier. But regardless, one of our drawing points was for immigrants to get away from all the constant conflicts in Europe that prevented the average person from living a peaceful life. It's why we went isolationist several times, and why we were skeptical about foreign entanglements in the first place, and well up until the late 1800s. Our Navy before the World Wars did very little outside of North America as well, so odds were a problem was going to arise over a merchant ship. Protecting the idea of trade is why we needed to fight pirates so many times. Then, of course, after World War II, the United States as a global superpower and the balance to the Soviet Union now needed to keep protecting those trade lines from pirates and other nations. Not just because they had a large and rich economy themselves, but also because other nations were now reliant on the United States for protection of their trade routes as well. This is why we led the multinational Operation Ocean Shield to deal with those Somali pirates that were attacking our cargo ships. So while naval warfare is mostly non-existent now, a navy is simultaneously of huge importance. I feel like when it comes to naval history, wars on protection of trading vessels are usually overlooked or downplayed compared to stuff like battleships attacking battleships, or for ancient history, Greek galleys fighting Persian ships or whatever. But overall, I think it's indeed safe to conclude that the US loves avenging ships. I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and be sure to like, subscribe, and check out all of the other videos that are a part of this Operation Odysseus collaboration. They're all naval history based, and you can find a link to the previous, following, or the entire playlist of videos in the description. Thank you for watching.